This was a very satisfied client. This student of ours scored a 12 in reading, which is amazing for this year, and a 12, a perfect score, is amazing. Listening was also 12, writing was 12, and speaking was 11. And he was very happy, very proud of his results, as he should be, so great job. This video will be part 2. A lot of the strategies we teach in our course, I give a little glimpse of that in these videos, but the detailed strategies, like the ones the student used, are found in our CELPIP 15-hour course in the description. You can check that out. This right here is a continuation of our last reading series. Part 1 is where we discussed reading part 3 and a little bit of part 4. We answered just one question in part 4. So today we'll continue answering the remaining questions in part 4 using our strategies and the mindset that you need to successfully get everything accurate. Now, here in this passage, I'll give you a little recap of what we did. There is this guy, Garrett Rogers, and again, there are two people usually arguing in part 4 because it's a debate. This guy is a fan of LeBron, and he was saying that Bryant and Jordan's fans are going to be upset because he calls LeBron the GOAT, greatest of all time. And that's why the question here was asking which of the following is true about Garrett. And we said that he is concerned about other people's opinions because he was talking about others, as you can see here. And you can pause the video if you would like. You can read these paragraphs 1 and 2, because we have already covered those. We'll move on and answer the remaining questions. In paragraph 2, mainly, he was talking about James' accomplishments and how great he is. And in paragraph 3, he was talking about how Kobe is a bad player, or was a bad player, and all his problems compared to James. Okay, in this video, we're going to look at his adversary, Todd Carter, and what did he have to say about Kobe, because it's obvious. I haven't even read it right now, but it's always obvious. Whatever the first guy is saying in part 4, the other guy is going to oppose that in the later paragraphs. And there are some questions here about Todd Carter, so we're going to answer those. Last video, I finished by saying that, look, we got to read this first, the question, then we look at the passage, figure out the answer, put the answer in. But the strategy that you can use that is very effective is mixing or using or reading two questions together. So if I were reading this one, which of the following is true about Garrett? I'm trying to find stuff about Garrett. I'm also going to read number 4. From your understanding, who had a better work ethic? This is easy for me to find out. I mean, work ethic would be things like maybe putting in more hours, waking up early, doing more sets if we're talking about gym, and so on, right? So if I am reading everything about their work, what kind of work did LeBron do versus Kobe, I can look at work ethic and get the answer at the same time. So that's what I'm going to do today. And right now, we'll look at questions 4 and 5. So let's look at 2 and answer them together. The 5th question says, where did LeBron outshine Bryant? Okay, so this is going to be more of a complete answer because we're going to look at everything about LeBron, and we did that in the last video. You can pause the video to catch up, read these 2 paragraphs, paragraphs 2 and 3. These are about LeBron, how he was a good clutch player. Summary, he was good in tactics, inside scoring tactics. He was good there. He was also a good clutch player. That was mentioned, yeah, right here. So under pressure, last minute, he was a good clutch player. And he has good communication, motivation skills. This thing about his leadership was really emphasized. And he then have talking about his history, his career, how his championships was mentioned here. Okay. Later on, when we went to Kobe, this guy was saying that Kobe, on the other hand, is very selfish, doesn't take it as a team sport. He further states Kobe has 5 rings compared to LeBron's 3, but the latter, which means Kobe, has his name written all over those championships. Sorry, LeBron has his name written. In all these instances, LeBron James, was the most dominant player, while Kobe had support from teammates. So he's, again, praising James over Kobe. Right now, we're looking for work ethic. We're also looking for our keywords. Where did LeBron outshine Bryant? So always keep those questions in your mind because we want to read with the intention of getting answers. So far, I haven't found those very specific places, so we'll continue reading here. Todd Carter, a renowned sports critic, completely blasts Garrett on his point about James being versatile. So he doesn't think James is versatile. Yes, he can have a lot of explosive power, but when he's charging at you, I don't think Kobe was that scary when he ran towards you. So Todd Carter is kind of admitting that James was scary, when he's running towards you. But Kobe Bryant had better instincts on court. Okay, now remember, the question that we're looking at is how did LeBron outshine Bryant, not how Kobe Bryant outshined LeBron. So LeBron probably was scarier. Maybe that's where he outshined it. But Kobe had better instincts. That's not going to be our answer because we're looking for James, how he is better. He could come from multiple directions and do all these things. So, okay, he's talking about that. We are more concerned about how he outshined Bryant. But I'm also looking at the work ethic. So let's see if we find something about that. So multiple directions, he's coming from those directions. Likewise, Kobe is a special player who has fought on occasions with broken ankle, damaged index finger. So he's very resilient. He used to wake up at 4. This is something that points to me that we're talking about work ethic. Wakes up at 4:30, hit the gym while his teammates would either be out partying and stuff. He was just a different animal. And lastly, Kobe outshined LeBron. Okay, we'll come to that later. But this is the only thing that was mentioned about work ethic. When you look at LeBron in these paragraphs where he was praised, the work ethic is not mentioned. His skills are mentioned. He is a good clutch player. Attack is really good. Good leadership. Work ethic, like how was he working? How was he practicing is not mentioned. This about Kobe's the only thing mentioned about work ethic. So, from my understanding, who has a better work ethic? Before looking at the options, the answer is Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant is the answer. These two guys, Todd and Powell, they're just mentioned here just to confuse you. They're names which are not main discussion. They're just teammates. Okay? So we're going to put answer, Kobe Bryant. Good. Now, where did LeBron outshine Bryant? We still don't know, so we'll still keep reading. So at 4:30, he hit the gym. Lastly, Kobe outshined LeBron. You see the word outshine? Outshined, outshine. This is on purpose to confuse you because you will match the word, but it's LeBron outshining Bryant, not the other way around. Okay, so while James was named 6 times, Bryant was listed 3 times. His counters and understanding his opponent made him an impeccable defender. So we're still talking about Kobe. Don't really care. We are looking for LeBron. Todd claims his skills were James is light years behind and no amount. Okay, so all of this is Kobe's praises. The answer that I'm going to get is going to be from here, from LeBron's praises, because how did LeBron outshine Bryant? So you can see answers are not always in sequence, as we saw here. And if I'm now looking at the options, because we have read everything about LeBron, we have read everything about Kobe. Let's have a look. Defense, nothing much mentioned about LeBron James's defense. There was something about Kobe's defense mentioned somewhere here. Teamwork, absolutely. This idea was pretty much grilled to us. James has true leadership skills. This is probably the point that is not arguable at all. And he had good communication, motivational methods, right? This is absolutely the answer. Instincts were better. The only thing about instincts was mentioned somewhere here, there. Better instincts on court, where Kobe was mentioned. So not LeBron. We're looking for LeBron outshining Kobe. And inside scoring. Now that's confusing. This is where it's annoying in part 4, okay? So it says here very clearly that when we're talking about James in the second paragraph, he is, right here, he is able to use not only amazing athleticism, but very dominant inside scoring tactics ever known to an NBA player. Now here it's referring to that, but it doesn't mean that this is where he is better than Kobe. And that's what you need to understand. We have no information about Kobe's inside scoring, okay? Now, you would argue, do we have information about Kobe's teamwork? We do. And that's where we're going to look at words like these. Kobe, on the other hand, is a very selfish player who doesn't really take this as a team sport. So he doesn't take this as a team sport, while LeBron James is a leader and is good in communication. So that means LeBron is better at teamwork than Kobe, right? So here it was not deniable that it's either teamwork or inside scoring. We picked teamwork because we literally have to look at both of these guys, LeBron and Bryant, and see where one is better than the other. And when you have questions like these, you got to read everything, but also read with the intention. Like throughout when we were reading, we were looking at work ethic, specific words. We saw a lot of Bryant's accomplishments, but we were ignoring those. We were saying, okay, where is LeBron better? And focus more on that. And then while reading, still, we were looking at Bryant's work, and we saw a criticism that he's a selfish player. So we were understanding, didn't waste time, and finally we came out here and found the answer. Alrighty, so that's part 4, very challenging, but here is the icing on the cake in a good way. When you go to question 6 to 10, it is lightning fast. All you gotta do is identify what this commenter's intentions are. So in this case, he says, while LeBron will no doubt go down in history as one of the greatest, let me list some of Kobe's attributes that will settle this debate. So this guy probably prefers Kobe Bryant because he's saying LeBron is good and all, but Kobe he's awesome. And that means this guy is going to thoroughly praise Kobe. With that stance, I have an idea of where he's coming from and what he might say. Let's see the next thing. Garrett referred to James as something, but when it came to taking shots far away from the basket, Kobe was in God mode all the time. So Garrett referred to James as, I can guess an answer here. I'll tell you how. And I'm going to put an answer here, inside scoring. Look at what happens later. So he says, when it came to taking shots far away from the basket, Kobe was good. So Garrett is talking about, James's inside scoring is good, and the opposite of that would be shots far away. So inside, opposite is far away. This is the thing that fits in this sentence. Even without me reading this article, if I never read this article, I would know this is most likely the answer based on the tone of this guy, his stance, he's going to prefer Kobe, and based on the tone of the sentence. You read the words around the blank to get the answer. Okay, let's continue that. On top of that, I disagree with Garrett. Again, obviously, he's going to disagree with Garrett, who loves LeBron James. Garrett, that James is something since Kobe turned into an absolute monster in the final moments of some of the most important games. So I can obviously understand this, that he is going to say something. James is maybe, aggressiveness or his courage or his speed, because Kobe was the one who became a big monster at the end. So let's see what he's talking about. Leadership, no. James was a good leader and then Kobe was a monster. No, doesn't make sense. Was explosive, could make sense. Superior clutch player. Now, if you don't know what this means, you need to work on your vocabulary. But again, you want to understand context every time. And here you want to read the context where the better clutch player is mentioned to get an idea. Right after that sentence, it says, in under pressure and last minute situations, he's able to not only be amazing and stuff. So clutch player probably means someone who's really good in the last few minutes of the game. So we're talking about the final few minutes where Kobe turned into a monster. So that would mean James was also a superior clutch player, but since we're talking about the last few moments and Kobe was better, this is the only option that is talking about the last moment, the clutch player thing. Nothing else matches that. So again, we're getting the idea from the words around. Let's try that again. That combined with Kobe's something meant that the goals were extremely hard to make against his team. So he was a good clutch player, and then you have Kobe's something, which is really good for his team. That is a keyword here too. Because when we look at the options, if we talk about Kobe's instincts, that would have nothing to do with the team. That's very personal to Kobe. So Kobe's attack or defense will work. Kobe's rings doesn't really work with the team. It's his personal thing. So it's attack or defense. In this case, we don't know. We cannot guess just based on the tone. In this case, we have to go back a little and look at what Kobe's better at, attack or defense. And there was a mention of defense here somewhere. Let's have a look. Kobe is a special player. He damaged as this, approach was this, named 6 times. He was, okay. James 6 times in the NBA, all defensive. Bryant was listed there 12 times, so he was more defensive. And he was an impeccable defender. That's what's mentioned about Kobe. So we're going to pick defense here. But again, our work was significantly reduced because we looked at the words around this blank and we decided the only 2 options that are likely answers are attack or defense. And we only looked for those words. We didn't look for all 4 options back in the passage, saving us a ton of time. So guys, that's it for questions 6 to 10. We still got to do 9 to 10, but the video is going to be too long. If you guys want, you can definitely do that in the comments section. These are the options for number 9. These are the options for number 10. The idea remains the same. Look at the words around the blank and understand where this commenter is coming from, what is his bias and or her bias, and that'll help you get all the other answers. I hope you like this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. And if you want a 3-hour plus tutorial on reading, it is included in our course, as well as 5 challenging, extremely difficult mock tests with the best strategies, tips, and tricks. Check it out in the description.